This is a wedding picture of Barbara and Wayne Sealhammer. Mary Ellen Brooks. Oliver Benson. Bill Saunders. Joanne Tuttle. Stanley Lewis. Dale Ruin while in the Navy. This is a group in the 1940s which included Mike Klinkhammer and friends. Susan and Kent Carpenter. Roseanne Russell. Eddie Huffman. Eleanor Evenson. Kent Lamb. This is a poem written about Cogswell. This is Helen Benson, Norman Milbrandt, and Jill Tuttle. Boys basketball team with Keith Roon on the left and a Craywinkle on the right. It's an early girls basketball group. This is a girls basketball group, and Carrie Lou Rowan is third from the left. Another boys basketball team, Cy Gordon is one of those on the ends. This is a girls basketball team with Martha Clark, who was a student, is now a coach. And a girls basketball team from at least a few years ago. This was an independent basketball team from 1948. It was a Legion-sponsored team.
Charlie Try in the middle. Certainly is.
This is cheerleaders, Joyce Daly and other cheerleaders.
Helen Benson was in there.
This is a group band picture, I believe. This is Arlene Christensen. I believe her last name now is Wagner. This is a group picture that included the Anderson twins. 1946 group, I believe that to be Jimmy Kunkel, the tall one in the center. There's another early group. This is a womanless wedding with Mervyn Carpenter and Harris Anderson as the bride and groom. Bridesmaid was Orville Savert. And this was T.R. Workman was one of those, and then of course this is our own Eddie Huffman.
So I sort of put together a little song. You know, there's nothing more fun, is there, Ed, than gossip, right?
Right.
Gossip is good, right? Right? Especially if it's that about you. So we're going to just spread a little gossip tonight for you with the help of Lonnie, and we're going to probably really mess him up because we don't know what we're doing either.
Can I say this?
Probably.
Lonnie Robinson on guitar. Doing a good job, isn't he? He's really going to shine now. We're going to make him sound really good. Anytime. Don't you just love gossip? It really is so neat. When you're bored, have nothing to do, then gossip can't be beat. I was talking to Doug Sawyer today, and you know, he had a rough life as a teenager.
Doug Sorey had a rough life as a teenager?
Yes, he did.
Where is
Where's
Doug?
Doug?
Doug! Come on, Doug,
Doug,
stand
sorry.
up. Stand up, stand up.
There's Doug.
Okay, let's hear his sad story.
Doug Sawyer was a handsome guy. The girls, they all did swoon. He says they chased him all over town from midnight until noon.
I hate to say this, but that's not the story I heard.
Well, Pat, what was the story you heard?
Well, I talked to some of the women here, and
Really?
that's not what they said.
Oh, really?
No, if I can find my words, I'll tell you what it was. Well, I think I want to stand by him. You can't read my words. Now, Dick Sawyer was a Romeo, and from all the reports I found, it wasn't gulp he meant when he asked if you wanted to play around. Oh, tell him that.
Most of these guys in Cogswell chase skirts. I chased what was in them.
Right.
That's good. Did you want to retaliate in any way or try to explain away? That's good. That explains it. And I'm proud of you.
Well, that was fun. Okay.
Talk about Romeos. We have another Romeo here. Al Schreiner's here somewhere. Al, could you hold up your hand or something? Al said he had a really, really harrowing experience last night. He said this woman beat on his door and screamed till 4 o'clock this morning, and he finally got up and let her out. Don't you just love gossip? It really is so neat. When you're bored, have nothing to do, then gossip can't be beat. Ron Klinkhammer. Is Ron Klinkhammer here tonight? I don't believe he is. But there are many, many Klinkhammers. Let's see a show of hands of Klinkhammers. Anybody a Klinkhammer here can hold up their hand? You can even do that, Kathy. You bet. There's quite a few.
I want them all to stand. All the Klinkhammers stand. All the Klinkhammers up, up, up. Up, Klinkhammers, stand. And
Somebody wake Jack up. Oh, he's up.
now I want you all to smile. Really big.
Really, give us a toothy grin. Really smile. Okay, do your thing.
Brother Klinkhammer isn't here tonight, but he didn't let us down. He sent his toothbrushes to all his kin. They got the cleanest teeth in town. Now, in case you don't know, he has or had, I think he still has a toothbrush company, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why they're all smiling so well here.
Don't you just love gossip? It really is so neat. When you're bored, have nothing to do, then gossip can't be beat. Oh, Pat, did I tell you you have to watch your language here? There's a P-R-I-E-S-T in
A
the crowd.
P-R-I-E-S-T? Wow, where?
Oh, he's back. He's kind of with the bad bunch back there somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
So far, he's
that's
holding up pretty well. There he
There
is.
he is, yes. Jane Bolt would give all the girls a ride to dances near and far. But if one wore slacks instead of a skirt, he'd kick her out of the car.
Now, this is what we want to question you a little bit about. Why was it that they had to wear skirts? Why did you insist they wear skirts? And this better be good.
I can't come in.
I didn't think you could. Hey, would you leave the room here a minute? We'll talk about That's the first time I've ever heard of Jay and lost. This is a rumor we heard. In order to write the dance with Jay, and he would take you to any dance anywhere, but you had to wear a skirt in order to go to the dance.
And I'll allow
And you what?
And I'll allow to the back. I would do that.
Okay. What about you girls? Do you feel a little discriminated against or not?
How many girls feel
How many
discriminated
girls?
against? Raise your hand. Stand up for your rights. Raise your hand.
How many girls that actually rode to these dances feel discriminated against? Wouldn't anybody ride with Jay? My mother always told me not to travel with a girl that carried a blanket, but I never heard about this skirt.
Okay, we've heard about Smith's Barn, where Al
Smith's Barn.
Yeah,
Where's Smith's Barn?
that's that wonderful place that we all lived at, I think, every Friday night.
Friday, you got it right
I got
this
it
time.
right this time, okay. Smith's Barn was everyone's playground on many a Friday night. I'll bet the gossip about the barn would keep us in stitches all night.
Who wants to tell the first Red Smith's Barn story? Anybody got anything they can tell?
I'll start out with my favorite, and that was a night, and I'm sure some of you remember this. We were at the dance, we were doing the bunny hop, having a great old time, and all of a sudden this big band we had, which was one of a very large one, was not a rural area band, came and stopped everybody. We could not do the bunny hop anymore because there was an old sow downstairs trying to have piglets, and she couldn't do it with that hop, hop, hop.
I have another livestock story kind of along those lines. You guys, most of you grew up on farms or were familiar with what happened on farms, and back in those days, just about everybody had milk cows. And of course, in order to harvest the milk, you had to wean the calf, teach the calf to drink, so the calf could live, and so you could harvest the milk. Well, it just happened one Thursday. My dad had a calf born that we could not teach to drink. We worked with that calf all day Thursday. We worked with it half the day on Friday. Friday night, I'm getting ready to go out to Smith's Barn, and my dad said, "Why don't you take that calf with you? I'll bet he could learn to drink out there." That calf turned out to be a drinker. It really is so neat.
When you're bored, got nothing to do, then gossip can't be beat. Oh, I got this one. We got this one.
What about the sports?
Yeah.
What about sports? Anybody remember anything about sports in Cogswell?
Girls' sports, especially.
Oh, I remember girls' sports. We had some of the best girls' basketball teams
They were mean, I remember.
that ever hit the ground.
Oh, they hit.
Could you tell us anything about that?
Well, hipper was Chuck Christensen and Rita King Clammer too. Got that off. One hit with the hip on the basketball floor and off the floor the opponents flew. Is that true? They just went like that and they flew off the floor?
Could we have a demonstration? Stan Brower would volunteer to be used as demonstratee here. Anybody have any comments about that? Charlie Try, you were coaching back in some vintage days like that. Would you have any comments along those lines?
Not on your life.
Okay.
I'm going to go on to the clink hammers here again. Got your page?
Speaking of clinkhammers, there's a celebrity in amongst the clinkhammers tonight. There's a celebrity here.
Where
We have a
is
queen, we have a king, now we have a mayor.
Mayor Wayne Klinkhammer? Stand up, Mayor. Mayor.
There he is.
There he is. Oh,
Yeah. Are you a reading mayor or are you a reading mayor? What kind of son?
gee, I'm going to try to drive through the song. Okay? Okay. My golly, are we lucky tonight? We have a government official here. Wayne Klinkhammer's the mayor of Owatonna. I think he should buy us all a beer. Kirk, where are you? Stand up again for a moment. Judge Kirk Smith, is that a bride?
No, it's my bride and not a bride.
Depends on if he buys you a beer or not. I just wanted to comment, Wayne.
I heard something. They gave the wrong gift.
I don't know.
I can't tell. I didn't hear his story. What did you hear?
Well,
Where is he?
the only thing I know is it was fate that caused Lynn to be a body repairman. That's all I'll say.
It's fake that he's a body repairman.
In his high school days, he could keep himself busy. Lynn, where are you?
Stand up, Lynn. Oh,
Stand up and take it. There he is.
Lynn Ritter was known for driving fast, and his antics can't be beat. He's the only guy we know that rolled his car right on Main Street. Oh, that's a job.
And I
Well, then just a while ago I said, how many bottles of beer out of that case were broken? And he couldn't remember. Several of them. And he said they were confiscated by the city constable. He and his dad had to go down the next morning to talk to the constable, and the constable offered each of them one of his own beers. So that can only happen in Cogswell, I think.
Well, I hear Wayne Stillhammer was a pretty lively guy, too. Wayne, come on, stand up. Wayne?
Do I have to?
Yes. Wayne Stillhammer was a crazy guy who drove as fast as could be. He hit a post east of town and permanently scarred a tree.
Now,
I thought that was against the law.
do you remember anything about that?
No, I forgot it.
Somebody kind of told me it was like with the 35 Ford with suicide doors and...
It was Brower's fault.
It was Brower's fault. It was Brower's fault. Anyway, they said you hit that tree so hard before you hit it was a cottonwood and it was a weeping willow ever since. Is there truth to this story? There is. Yeah. Now, see, he owns up to it, Stan. What about you here? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Another little rumor I heard along those lines was Barb, where are you? Barb Sealhammer. Barb Sealhammer learned to drive a Model A in somebody's pasture. Is that true? That's possible, isn't it? You got to have a lot of room. Yeah, I've seen you drive in town. Yeah.
Okay, where's Butch and Keith? Butch and Keith, stand up. I've got to tell a secret on you two. We're almost done. No,
Butch
one more,
and Keith.
two more secrets.
These are our friendly Dr. Root and Dr. Christensen, who work in the hospital right over here. You see the sign? The hospital room. Yeah, these are our bartenders.
Butch and Keith were pretending. They said the time it flew. I hear for every drink they served, they each had one or two.
Nobody's going to believe that. You know, I heard a little story about these guys. I think most of you know them, and I've known them all my life, and they're pretty good guys, and they're pretty avid sportsmen. Used to be really avid. They kind of kept an eye on the deer population and things around the area. A lot of times they would see these deer in the lights, and I guess it was they were either going to church or coming home. I never even asked what they were doing. But anyway, there was this one humongous buck in the area, and they just drooled every time they would see him, but they'd never see him when they should see him. They would see him out and about before season or something, and during season they had tracked him many times. He would always wind up in Mazzara Slough. Anybody here ever hear of Mazzara Slough? Yeah, that's where he'd wind up. So these two guys are smarter than your average bear, so they devised a plan whereby when the old buck gets to the slough, they're going to be waiting in the bull run. And it's cold. It's up in October, late October, and it's cold, and it's peppermint schnapps weather, so they take some provisions and they go out before daybreak. And Keith said to Butch, he said, you know, you've seen that buck more times than I have, so if he comes in, when he comes in, you take him. You take him. I'll back you up. Boy, that's a lot of help, isn't it, Butch? Him back you up. But anyway, they get nestled into the bulrushes, and it's cold, and they're shivering, and Butch checked the ammo in his gun 17 times, and finally Keith said, look on the horizon, here comes the big, and he was coming. And he said, Butch, just wait till he gets in range, Butch is really nervous. Check the ammo in his gun one more time. The buck's coming closer. Butch is really, you know how excited Butch can get? Have you ever seen him excited? He was really getting excited. And the buck is coming closer, and all at once Butch couldn't take it anymore, and he jumped up and took 2 quick shots, and by the time he got the cap back on the schnapps bottle, the buck was gone.
I noticed that our illustrious judge is beginning to frown at us. I think we're breaking laws.
We don't want him on our
Oh
side.
no, I don't want him angry at me. I'm going to go down there and then I'm going to sing in reverse and then we're going to be done with this. Where did he go?
He's back there.
Kurt, where are you hiding? What?
You tell him, kid.
Okay. Don't smile. You're supposed to be mad. Excuse me. Gee,
I'm getting it out of
it's
here.
getting tougher all the time. Okay. Music. I think we'd better stop this song because nothing's heard it from. I just saw him reading the Century Code, now he's writing something down. did I do that was libelous? Did I do something bad?
No, you did everything just right.
No, you're not supposed to say that.
Judge Smith, I do have one question that I'm sure is uppermost on everyone's mind here. Would you mind if it's kind of a professional thing, would you mind if I ask?
Go ahead.
What do you wear under those black robes? I read it, I want to know.
Same thing everybody else wears.
That's what I figured. Okay.
With all of our mayors and our judges, so we're going to change our tune for this last verse.
Don't you just hate gossip?
It really isn't neat. If you're bored, got nothing to do, go to
Linda's
or Linda's Dairy Queen.
Get something to eat. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where's security? Where's security? Security!